Namaste, Hari Om, Radhe Radhe. Thank you so much for joining this very special video, which today is October 5, 2022. And on October 5, 1922, a living saint was born into this world. He took form on planet Earth. 100 years ago today, Sri Jagadguru Kripaluji Maharaj, who is our guru's guru, Swami Mukundananda, our guru's guru, a living saint, the fifth original Jagadguru of India's history, and I believe the first one in the prior 700 or 600 years. There was a gap until the Banaras Kashi group of 500 topmost scholars named Jagadguru Kripaluji Maharaj the fifth original and the ultimate Jagadguru in the history of India. Imagine that. The top scholars in the history of India, all 500 of them, through a very rigorous process that Swami Mukundananda explains so elegantly, and you can find his explanations on YouTube. He was found to be the most profound master of the Vedas, the truest incarnation of the divine wisdom. And he had an encyclopedic understanding, mastery, and application of all of the Vedic scriptures and all of the Vedas effortlessly. He was a living saint. And today is literally his 100 year, his centennial anniversary of taking form in the body. And we're releasing this on October 8th, even though we recorded it on October 5th, because our guru has a major global event tomorrow, October 9th. You can go to jkyog.org, jkyog.org. To find out about it. You can watch it online and participate online in honor of this great living saint.
We're so happy that you're with us. Thank you so much, everyone, for helping our little channel to grow. And we crossed the 500 subscriber mark. Yay! Thank you so much. All of you who are watching and liking and clicking and subscribing, we are so grateful. Should we get started?
Let's get started. Now, Jagadguru Kripaluji didn't speak English, but we're so blessed that several of his talks and satsangs and lectures were recorded and then put in subtitles in English, and this one is as well. So we don't know exactly what he's going to be talking about, other than it says 2 things you must do. So we're going to learn from the fifth original Jagadguru in the history of India.
आप लोग जो भगवान नाम ले रहे हैं, ये कितना मूल्यवान है, ये नहीं सोच रहे हैं। भगवान के नाम में और भगवान में कोई भेद नहीं होता, 0.1% का भी। गौरांग महाप्रभु कहते हैं कि तुमने नाम के अंदर नामी बैठा है, ये फेथ नहीं किया, विश्वास नहीं किया, विश्वास, ये मिस्टेक। देखो, किसी को एक अंगूठी मिल जाए हीरे की 10 करोड़ की पड़ी हुई, हाँ चमकदार है, अच्छे है, ठीक है, यहां भी रख देगा, वहां भी रख देगा। किसी से पूछा कितने की होगी, अरे होगी 400-500 की, कांच है कांच, उसका कोई मूल्य नहीं, देखने पर आंक रहा। प्यार उसका 50-500 रुपए का है बस, उसको देखकर। और जो कोई जौहरी आया, उसने बताया ये 5 करोड़ की है। 5 करोड़ की? तो मैं करोड़पति हूं। अब उस अंगूठी को देखता है, हाँ 5 करोड़ की है, 5 करोड़ की है। देखो देखने में अंतर हो गया, ऐसे ही।
That is such a special anecdote, and it's so amazing because I've heard Swami Mukundananda share that same story, and now hearing it from Jagadguru Kripaluji Maharaj and realizing that, that was a beautiful illustration delivered by his master, his Guru Dev, and now he's giving it to us, and that's so special to me. And the story itself is so powerful that we don't know how to value things. And until we can realize their worth, we don't give it our appropriate time. I'm imagining now he's going to pivot to the worth of God and our value that we give to that. But what a powerful anecdote.
What a beautiful, powerful anecdote. And you just feel the wisdom from Sri Kripaluji Maharaj and how it's trickled down to Swami Mukundananda, and also lots of other devotional teachers and preachers across the world, and the effect that this one sacred saint has had on global civilization is just so profound.
So amazing.
जब आप ये विश्वास जितने % बना लेंगे कि नाम में नामी बैठा है, उतना ही रस मिलेगा आपको, रस रस। अरे गंदे गोबर गणेश आपका जो बच्चा है, माँ है, बीबी है, जिसके रोम रोम से बदबू आ रही है, जब माँ अपने उस नाक बहते हुए बच्चे के मुंह पे मुंह रख देती है बाकायदा, और उसे खुशबू मिलती है, सोचो, केवल भाव अटैचमेंट होने से। तो जब भगवान का आप स्वरूप भगवान के नाम में मान लेंगे, तो फिर जब राधे कहेंगे तो रोम रोम खड़ा हो जाएगा इमीडिएटली।
That is so amazing. He said you'll get goosebumps. I did get goosebumps from thinking about that and feeling into that. He's such a masterful presenter. He has humor and power. What a presence he was. And for those who were blessed to be with him in person, can only imagine what that experience was like.
And if you did get to take darshan in person with him, please comment explaining when you experienced his presence, his grace, where, what it was like. And even if you didn't actually have physical presence, physical darshan, many of you probably have had and taken darshan from Kripaluji Maharaj. If you'd like to share what role he's played in your life, in your sadhana, in your spiritual journey, we would love to hear. My love, what was it about what he said that was so touching and empowering to you? It gave you goosebumps.
This notion that God is in his name, just saying that, if you were to pause and really accept that, it really is earth-shattering. And I remember when Swamiji was giving a wonderful satsang on this notion of, he said, if a person would have, we all are attempting to have faith in God, but if a person would really have faith in God, they would become God realized immediately. And this notion that we are striving for faith and we come to satsang and we do what we can do, but we don't really have full faith, because otherwise we would have realized God already. And that really touched me when he shared that. And I think this, from Maharaji, this notion of like, if you believe that God was in his name, when you uttered the name, you get goosebumps. It's true. We say, we exalt God quite often. We do kirtan in the home and we're, blessed to have satsang and kirtan. But I chant the names and I try to bring that faith and that belief. I strive for it. I yearn for it. But what Maharaji said just now really shook my heart.
And I've heard that many times, that God resides in his actual name. There's no difference between God and uttering the name of God. But when he just said it with that force. It's like he cracked a divine whip. It's like he said it and it just like it like cracked my Mayak shell, and like for a split second in me, I truly believed it. And I know it's true. I always know it's true. But I truly believed it for like half a second. And then the Mayak mind kind of takes over. And I know this wise saint is speaking the truth. And but he's also talked about, as his deep devotee, Swami Mukundananda, that there's a difference between knowledge and belief. We can know something to be true, but it's different to truly, truly, truly believe it in every fiber of every cell in your body. And I got a little moment of spontaneous full belief, and then my mind came in.
Let's see if he says something that will help us get closer to that.
Let's see.
तो केवल भगवान नाम लेने में और भगवान के नाम में भगवान बैठा है ये रियलाइज करते हुए नाम लेने में इतना बड़ा अंतर है, जैसे रबड़ का गुब्बारा और एटम बम में अंतर होता है। गुब्बारे से किसी को मारो हंस देगा, और एक एटम बम फेंक दो 10 लाख 0/100 हो गए। वजन महापुरुष की वाणी में और थ्योरेटिकल मैन पंडित की वाणी में यही अंतर होता है, वजन का अंतर होता है। वे भगवान नाम लेते हैं हृदय से, हम लेते हैं कंठ से। उनको 100% फेट है, भगवान के नाम में भगवान बैठे हैं। हमको या तो 0/100 या तो 1% या 10%, जितना जिसको फेथ है महसूस करते हुए उतना रस उसको मिलता है। वास्तविक रस नहीं मिल पा रहा है लापरवाही से। आप लोगों को बहुत बार बताया गया है, कोई मैं नई बात तो नहीं बता रहा हूं कि आपने अभी तक छुपा रखा था ये बात, लेकिन आप भूल जाते हैं। प्रैक्टिकल स्वरूप जब करना होता है, जब कीर्तन करने लगते हैं, तो 1000 बार मैंने कहा है, पहले श्री कृष्ण को खड़ा करो और उनके नाम में वो बैठे हैं ये विश्वास करो, फिर भगवान नाम लो। तो पाप धुलेंगे और मन को रस मिलेगा, और जब रस मिलेगा तो धीरे धीरे ये अवस्था आ जाएगी, बिना नाम लिए रहा नहीं जाएगा। जैसे कोई बहुत अधिक शराब पीने का अभ्यस्त हो जाता है, सिगरेट पीने का, चाय पीने का, तो उससे रहा नहीं जाता बिना उसको सेवन किए। ये मटेरियल गंदी वस्तुओं में अटैचमेंट इतना हो जाता है, और वो तो दिव्य चिन्मय परमानंद स्वरूप है, उसमें कितना वास्तविक रस मिलेगा, इसकी कल्पना या इसका निरूपण कोई कर सकता है क्या?
I love this point that if you have this potent attachment to alcohol or nicotine or caffeine or tea, imagine the level of attachment and the sweet nectar that would come from directing that attention and devotion to God rather than an item of the material world. That's so potent.
So.
तो हम फिर बार बार आप लोगों को ये संकेत कर रहे हैं कि भगवान नाम कीर्तन के पहले 2 बात करो। एक तो भगवान का रूप ध्यान। अगर 100 बार रूप ध्यान बनाया और 1 बार बना बहुत है, हिम्मत करो आगे। दूसरी बार जब 100 बार करोगे तो 2 बार होगा, फिर 3 बार होगा, फिर होने लगेगा। पहले करना।
Beloved, for those who have not heard Sri Kripaluji Maharaj or Swami Mukundananda discuss Rup Dhyan, can you just briefly describe what Rup Dhyan is?
Sure. So Rup Dhyan, meditation, and Rup Dhyan, it means to meditate on the forms and qualities of God, so that when you're meditating, if you're doing a meditation, that it be on the divine. And you can do it in a variety of ways. You can visualize Krishna sitting next to you. You can think of his pastimes, his abodes. You can visualize any form of God that resonates in your heart. So you keep your mind on God for the duration of your meditation. And I guess what he's saying is, if you try Rup Dhyan 100 times and your mind comes away from God, 99 of those times, but once you can actually keep it on God, that's successful. And after, it's so hard. It's so hard to keep it on God. And it's a wonderful practice for those of you who have done meditation. If you haven't tried meditating on God, I would highly recommend to try it.
Because you struggled for well over a decade meditating, even though you were continually doing it. You were doing more mindfulness-based meditation, following your breathing, connecting to the physical body, scanning the body, these kind of Western forms of meditation. And then when you were introduced to Rup Dhyan, your entire meditation practice transformed, right?
That's right, my beloved. That's exactly right. I was really struggling to be motivated to meditate when I just had these tools that was about focus on the breath or other things. And when Swamiji introduced me to Rup Dhyan meditation, everything changed for me. Meditation is a pleasure, a joy, a gift. Even though it's not, my mind automatically moves away from God during meditation, sad to say, 99 times out of 100, that's for sure. But the practice is so pleasurable to just try and sit for, whether you can do it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, however long, even a minute, even 1 minute would be wonderful to just be quiet, close your eyes, and think of God for 1 minute.
And then you're connecting and visualizing God, connecting to God, and then you're thinking of paneer. Then you're like, oh, wait, that's
How did
God.
You know I was thinking about paneer?
That's my experience. And you're sitting there connecting to God, then you're thinking about the Los Angeles Lakers. That's me too. And connecting to God and thinking about the bank balance or the work we need to do today or the child and her runny nose or the dog and he peed on the rug. And just keep bringing it back. The material mind keeps going. As Swamiji and Kripaluji explained, it keeps going away from the visualization and association with God. And then when you notice it, bring it back to God. And you may have a couple seconds or a few seconds or 10 seconds or 20 seconds. And then it goes again. And it's this delicate dance between connection to God and then connection to the material distractions and then coming back and forth, back and forth.
If you've never tried it, be inspired. Try it once.
फिर होना, पहले प्रैक्टिस, फिर हैबिट, नेचुरलिटी। तो बार बार आप लोग सोचिए, भगवान के नाम में भगवान बैठे हैं, संसारी नाम में नहीं संसार बैठा। अगर कोई कहे ओ गोबर का गुल्ला खाते हुए कि रसगुल्ला का सुख मिल जा, वो नहीं मिलेगा, क्योंकि रसगुल्ला गोबर गुल्ला में व्याप्त नहीं है, उसकी शक्ति उसमें नहीं है, और भगवान के नाम में भगवान व्याप्त है, बैठा है। यही सबसे बड़ी भगवान की कृपा है, वरना एक भी जीव भगवत प्राप्ति न कर पाता। जितने संत हैं सब 0/100 रहते, कोई आधार नहीं था। भगवान 50 बार आवे, हमारे सामने, हमारे बगल के कमरे में रहे, हमारे कमरे में बैठे रहे, अरे हमारे हृदय में रहते हैं, क्या लाभ है? कुछ नहीं। अनादिकाल से अब.
That's amazing. He's saying God could live in the room next to you. He could live in your room. He lives in our hearts after all. How is that helping us? That's amazing. Oh no, I've never heard it said like that. Right? We know this truth. God is everywhere. God descends for our benefit and in different forms. God is sitting in our heart. We know that truth, but when Maharaji just said, how is that helping you? Right? Because we're not connecting fully to it. We're not believing it. We're not having that faith. Wow.
अनादिकाल से अब तक अनंत जन्म बीत चुके, 84 लाख में घूमते, सदा हमारे हृदय में भगवान बैठे रहे, लेकिन कोई लाभ नहीं. तो सामने खड़े होंगे तो क्या लाभ होगा? तो हमको रियलाइज करना चाहिए, महसूस करना चाहिए, विश्वास बार 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 अभ्यास करना चाहिए. नाम में भगवान बैठे हैं. अरे ये नाम राधे, ये राधे नाम जो हम ले रहे हैं, ये पूर्णतम पुरुषोत्तम ब्रह्म श्री कृष्ण लेते हैं. ऐसा नाम है ये. जिन श्री कृष्ण का नाम ब्रह्मा विष्णु शंकर लेते हैं, जिन शंकर जी का नाम अनंत जीव लेकर मोक्ष प्राप्त करते हैं, वो नाम है ये. ये फीलिंग होनी चाहिए, लानी चाहिए. इसका अभ्यास कीजिए तो फिर दिन दूनी रात चौगनी उन्नति हो साधना में.
I also love that he's telling us that building faith is a practice, a small incremental practice where we have to just keep attacking the mind and the thinking and just keep forcing ourselves to do this. And over time, we actually weaken the grip of the mind and build more and more faith. You know, so often I just want to be able to have more faith. Like, why don't I have more faith? Why do I get so stuck in the mind? And I love how he's saying, you got to do the work. You build faith slowly, incrementally. You grind out these increases of faith over time. And it's a process. It's a journey. I love that.
भगवान नाम में भगवान बैठे हैं. इस बात को विश्वास में लाओ, अभ्यास करो बार बार, और रूप ध्यान करते हुए संकीर्तन करो. तो फिर आज से कल में अंतर देखो. आपको कल लेंगे जब आप राधे नाम, और आज जो लिया अंतर लगेगा. प्रतिदिन अंतर लगेगा. रस की वृद्धि होगी और अंतःकरण शुद्ध जल्दी होगा. जितना रूप ध्यान परिपक्व होगा, उतने मिलन की व्याकुलता होगी, आंसू आएंगे, अंतःकरण शुद्ध होगा. और ये अहंकार वगैरह जो माइक दोष है, ये समाप्त होंगे. अपने को आप शरीर मान रहे हैं, तभी तो अहंकार वगैरह आते हैं. अपने को आत्मा मानिए, भगवान का दास मानिए, दिव्य पर्सनैलिटी मानिए, तो फिर ये सब बीमारी चली जाए अपने आप. गणित में अगर एक गलती हो जाए पहल शुरू में, हम 4 पंचे 20 की जगह 30 लिख दे, तो फिर आगे जितना भी गणित लगाओ सब गलत हो जाएंगे. तो पहली गलती हमारी है, हमने अपने को आत्मा नहीं माना, भगवान का दास नहीं माना, शरीर मान लिया. अब सब गड़बड़ होगी. हो चाहे बृहस्पति का बाप हो, बड़े बुद्धिमान का दादा हो, अब वो गया, मरा. अब वो संसारी माँ बाप बेटा स्त्री पति संसारी विषयों के सुख सब इसी को अपनाएगा और 84 लाख में भटकेगा. यही हम लोगों को अब तक मिला. इससे छुटकारा पाना है तो जैसा हमने बताया, केवल 2 बात. भगवान को सामने खड़ा करो, उनके नाम में वो बैठे हैं, ये विश्वास पैदा करो, फिर भगवान नाम लो। बस इतनी सी तो बात है, इसी का अभ्यास।
Wow. Soul stirring, heart shaking.
The two things to do that the fifth original Jagadguru of India is telling us all to do. One, take God's name, continually trying to believe that God actually resides in his name. And two, do Ruktayam, where you're actually visualizing God, thinking of connecting to God or his pastimes, his abodes, as you're taking his name. Is that right?
Oh.
He's saying these two things, the visualization of God and taking God's name with a sincere attempt at believing that God resides in the name. When we do these two things, he said, our sadhana and our spiritual ascension will skyrocket.
Oh, and it's just perfect summary. And he said it's simple but not easy.
Nice. Simple,
right?
But
He
not
said
easy.
it's so simple, and that's true, but it's not easy. And it really takes courage, spiritual warrior, and a lot of patience, a lot of self-compassion, and just we'll all keep working on growing our yearning. We're so honored to be with you on this journey. Thank you for being with us and commenting and subscribing.
And what I would like to do is do a 20-second pause of silence in honor of Sri Kripaluji Maharaj, the fifth original Jagadguru of India. So for 20 seconds, let's be in silence and connect to him in any way you feel you want to and in any way we want to.
Saki Vihari Lala ki.
Jai!
Vrindavan Vihari Lala ki.
Jai!
Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.